Hello YouTube, what is up? Back to Ncaa 12. I haven't played and put up a ranked game using my Notre Dame Fighting Irish with the 3-3-5 stack playbook in a while, long time. I've been running the 3-3-5 stack with Hawaii in Online Dynasty. I've almost forgotten what it's like to run the defense with a team that actually has some talent.
I love to see a confident quarterback.
And part of my continued spread playbook fest, I'm playing this game with the Wyoming spread playbook.
5 wide.
Pretty interesting playbook. I call this playbook the empty set and trips king. A boatload of empty sets and a whole lot of trips. Not a lot of north-south power running out of this sucker. This is the very definition of a finesse spread offense. If you're not good at running jet sweeps, shotgun counters, or draws, or off tackles, then you're not gonna like this playbook. This playbook will not be your cup of tea. You could actually do quite a bit of effective running out of the empty sets. QB draws, if you have the right hyper runner, QB blast. You can run jet sweep out of 5 wide, as well as empty base sets that has your halfback in there. You can also run read option or a speed option off of the jet sweep action, and of course you can run play action. So, you know, don't fall into the trap of being pass happy when your empty backfield are 5 wide, or you're going to be easy to defend and people will just pass commit you to death every time they see 5 wide or empty. You want to keep them honest. You want to use every play. Don't be afraid to call, you know, every play at your disposal. That's what the spread is about. Make them defend everything. There is one under center, 2 tight end ace formation, which, you know, is okay. I use it a couple of times, like when I'm in the red zone or I want to just run the ball out. There's a 2 tight end ace shotgun, but it's mostly wide trip, spread HB weak. There's a wildcat set, which isn't too much different than the other wildcat sets in the game. Doesn't really, you know, I'm not really a wildcat kind of person. I very rarely use them. And a whole bunch of there's tight and trip sets. There's a 5 wide bunch, 5 wide trips, trio, quads, yada yada yada, and empty base personnel sets. Like right here, I'm running a little QB blast play with Dane Christ. He does okay with it. He's a 70 speed, which is, you know, at least good enough at it to be able to say, hey, he can actually pop it in there for 3 or 4 yards. Which is all you really need. If you have a guy like Denard Robinson, obviously, or Darren Thomas, or a mobile, you know, spread option style QB. Here's the HB suite. You can gain more yards. I call back for a holding penalty, but you can see you can pop those runs in there. And here's a good old smash. The passing game is really heavy in zone busting flood plays, where you have the trip side or the quad side attacking, you know, shallow, medium, and deep with a, you know, crossing route or a slant or a drag from the solo receiver side. You have quite a few run and shoot type concepts, which shouldn't be a surprise since it's so trip heavy. You have spot, you have switch, you have levels, double outs, smash, of course you have verts. Passing game is pretty vertical. Good play action passes off of jet sweep motion, play action QB blast motion, and halfway decent. You can throw in a read option here and there out of the 4 wide spread package as well, but it has, you know, so many empty and trip sets that it'd be silly to kind of waste them in their spacing. I love that play because it does. It's the type of play that it is. It's actually the kind of play that it sounds like. It spaces the field pretty well with those 5 short hooks, and someone is usually open, either in the middle or out wide.
13 to go. Ball on the 22.
And this guy's up against it pretty well.
Brantley drops back. They bring him down.
He's going to eventually try to put in Driscoll, and with the hopes of the scrambling QB may save him, but that only actually ends up getting him in more trouble. The 3-3-5 stack, part of the reason why I love it for college football is that it's scrambling QB repellent, because you have a lot of speed on the field. You know, I'll occasionally run into a team like Wisconsin or a person who sticks to their power running game. You know, but more often than not, I feel like I can handle pretty much whatever I get, you know, hit with within reason. And again, QB blast.
So the quarterback draw goes for 5 yards.
That's at a 5 wide bunch.
5 wide.
And you hear you have trips open, which puts one of my, you know, halfbacks or receivers in the backfield, and I can just pop them in here on a run play if I want to. I think I do here. I run like a HB base after I audible out of this play. Or off-tackle play, rather. Just read the blocks, he overruns it, and, you know, I gain a good 7 or 8 yards. That's the way you have to use this playbook, is you want to use these empty and trip sets to, you know, get into a nice throwing rhythm and, you know, pop in those runs as they present themselves. That last play I ran also has a lot of plays that has, you know, bubble screen motion. Like that play had a bubble as an outlet route with a deep post and an in on the trip side. Got a lot of bubble screens and flanker screens as well as the mid-screen game. So we're down to one more game in the college football season. We're down to LSU and Alabama. It's been a great bowl season. Every bowl game, just about, as far as the major bowl games, has been a, you know, quality watch. And of course, I watched SMU and the run and shoot, roll up Pitt. Pitt just looked awful. And June Jones has that run and shoot clicking pretty well. It's, you know, an awful tough offense to deal with. So anyway, what are your guys' picks for LSU, Alabama? Another QB blast. LSU, Alabama. I have no idea. I really have no idea. And again, I'm not really that excited about the game. You know, the game just doesn't really do much for me. I don't really like bowl game rematches that much. I remember the last one. Remember that year? The choke at Doak, Florida State, Florida, that crazy game that ended in a tie, and then they played in the Sugar Bowl, and Florida just blew Florida State's doors open. I don't think that's going to happen this time around. I think the teams are just pretty much too much of a mirror image of each other for that to happen. The only wild card I can potentially see is Jordan Jefferson, but
drops back to pass.
I don't know. I don't know how I can see Jordan Jefferson easily turning into a pumpkin also. I can also see him being a wild card and making something out of nothing with his legs. Or, you know, extending a play, making a big throw downfield. I can easily see that happening too. So, you know, you can make a great case for either team. My question is what happens if Alabama wins this game and it's like a 17-10 game? You know, word from the grapevine says is that there's people who, if Alabama wins the game, people would still vote either LSU #1 or Oklahoma State. I mean, how much of a circus would that be if we end up with a split poll? What do you guys think about that? I think that would be patently unfair. I mean, the whole purpose of this system, the BCS, you know, system, the BCS championship game is supposed to be just that, to crown a champion. You know, I think a split poll would be a total, you know, nightmare and a total joke, and just completely fly in the face of what the setup is supposed to accomplish. But you can't stop people from voting that way, and I guess if they do, it's the system's fault as well. So, you know, who knows? You know, college football has such a great regular season, such a screwed up postseason. On one hand, I love bowl season, but on the other, it also can leave a, you know, empty taste in your mouth and a sense of unfinished business, because you have, you know, two teams that, if Alabama wins, they would have split for the season, and all you've really proven is that the two teams are pretty much equals of each other. You know, Alabama lost on their home field, and if they win, they would have beat them on a neutral field. I mean, zippity doo dah. Well, what do we do then? Play a third game in Baton Rouge? a best two out of three. Oh my gosh, the hiccups. But that's my take on that. Just finished watching the Saints roll up the lines. The Saints' offense is just ridiculous. I mean, you gotta consider them right up there as far as all-time great offenses if they can keep this run going. I'll get into that later on. But this guy's about to pull the plug here. Onside kick time. It goes out of bounds, and we get the old connection to your opponent has been lost. So that's the Wyoming spread. And be patient if you haven't done your favorite spread playbook or your favorite team spread playbook yet. I'm going to do them all. So just hang tight. And I'll talk to you all later. Take care. Peace.